Welcome to About Mansfield. It's your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Sunmark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen Daniel, she's out there in Studio West. Check this out. It's the December 3rd, 2025, 299th edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information.
And a little later in the episode, you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice with our Mansfield Trivia Question, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance.
Let's take a look at the stories we're covering this week. Local attorney enters race for Texas House 96. Mansfield ISD opens enrollment to out-of-district students. Mansfield seeks artists for monarch-themed park benches. Mansfield ranks among top places to move in Texas. National Night Out here in Mansfield earns top ranking.
And in the Talk segment, Steve talks baseball with Texas Rangers Assistant VP of Business Operations, Richard Hoggy Price. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Hi, I'm Ebony Turner, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Attorney and community advocate Ebony Turner has officially filed a run for Texas House District 96. Her announcement comes as current Representative David Cook prepares to step aside after opting not to seek re-election. Turner previously ran for the seat and says she's returning to the race to focus on issues she believes are critical to the district. She said House 96 deserves a representative who listens, leads with integrity, and remains accountable to residents rather than political interests. Her campaign highlights several priorities, including property tax relief, fully funded public schools, expanded support for special needs students, affordable health care, economic opportunity for workers and small businesses, and wages that allow families to remain financially stable. House District 96 includes all of Kennedale, portions of Mansfield, Arlington, Burleson, Crowley, Fort Worth, and Rendon. Turner is a 24-year attorney, former Texas Legislative Counsel, and longtime community advocate. She lives here in Mansfield with her family, including her son Isaiah, who has Down syndrome, and who she credits as her inspiration for seeking office. Mansfield ISD has opened enrollment to students who live outside district boundaries for the 26-27 school year. Families from other public, private, charter, or homeschool settings may apply for grades K through 12 through the district's Destination Mansfield Transfer Program. The program is available only to campuses with capacity. Lake Ridge High, Mansfield High, McKenzie Middle, Alma Martinez Intermediate, and Norwood Elementary are currently closed to transfers due to space limitations. All other MISD campuses remain open. Eligibility requirements include Texas residency, at least 95% attendance in the prior school year, passing academic performance, and a clean discipline record with no suspensions. Applications are now open and close February 1st. Priority goes to current MISD residents and children of full-time MISD employees. MISD officials say the move helps fill open seats, maintain quality programs, and offset statewide funding shortfalls. For more information, families can contact MISD Student Services at 817-299-6360. Mansfield's public art program is inviting artists to submit proposals for 2 monarch butterfly-themed benches to be installed at Oliver Nature Park. The benches will be the first artworks commissioned under the city's new public art program. The city of Mansfield is requesting original designs that incorporate the monarch butterfly either literally or in abstract form. The benches will be placed along the trail near the Bluebonnet Fields, where the annual Monarch Festival is held each May. Selected artists will be responsible for fabrication and installation, working in coordination with the Mansfield Parks and Rec. ADA considerations and inclusive designs are required. Each bench carries a project budget of $5,000, with installation due by April 11th of next year. The application process includes submitting a completed form along with a draft design. Proposals will be reviewed after the December 23rd deadline, and finalists will be notified on December 30th. Texas continues to attract new residents in 2025, and a new statewide analysis ranks Mansfield among the best places to relocate. Online review website Consumer Affairs evaluated the 50 most populous cities based on affordability, safety, economic strength, healthcare, education, and overall quality of life. 4 of the 5 top cities statewide are located just north of Dallas, including Allen, Frisco, Plano, and McKinney, while number 5 is just outside of Austin, that being Leander. Each posted strong scores in green space access, low crime rates, and expanding job markets. While its walkability and green space proximity trailed the northern suburbs, Mansfield's combination of economic stability, public safety, and community services placed it just outside the statewide top 5, coming in at number 6. Mansfield's National Night Out celebration earned high marks this year, placing 4th in the state and 14th nationwide among cities with populations between 50 and 100,000. The annual event is designed to strengthen neighborhood ties and promote community safety. Local participation played a major role in the strong showing. Neighborhood groups, volunteers, several city departments contributed, including police, fire, courts, communications, and staff from the city manager's office, along with the mayor and city council. Organizers say the recognition reflects a community-wide effort to create a safe and engaged environment. Mansfield's standing highlights broad support for the event and the city's continued emphasis on public safety and community involvement. National Night Out is an annual event that takes place on the first Tuesday of every October. We'll be right back.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
Mansfield Plumbing, Electrical, Heating, and Air is a family-owned local service provider with over 20 years of experience. Servicing Mansfield and surrounding areas, we offer expert plumbing, electrical, heating, and air solutions focused on quality workmanship, customer satisfaction, fair pricing, and guaranteed results for homes and businesses.
Call 817-473-8888. Mansfield Plumbing's never second rate.
This coming Saturday, December 6th, is National Gazpacho Day, the annual reminder that soup doesn't always have to be steaming, simmering, or capable of removing fingertips. Gazpacho, the classic cold Spanish dish from the Andalusian region, blends tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, garlic, olive oil, and vinegar into something refreshing enough to make you forget that it's technically still soup. Traditionally served cold and popular in warmer months, gazpacho has become a global favorite thanks to its bright flavor, simple ingredients, and the fact that it requires absolutely no cooking. Health-minded eaters praise it year-round, and adventurous cooks often toss in seasonal ingredients for a modern twist. While communities across the country celebrate, gazpacho isn't exactly crowding menus right here in Mansfield. If you want to join the festivities, making it your own will probably be the safest bet. A recipe from the New York Times is posted on our website, aboutmansfield.com, under the Links tab. Bon appetit the chilled edition.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
Tourism manager Tim Roberts joins us with the cultural arts calendar.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we have an important opportunity to make a real difference in our community and how you can help save lives in Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
We'll talk with the city's economic development manager in this week's 40 Under 40.
This week's cocktail of the week, it's elegant, it's sparkling, and it's just a little bit extra. It doesn't show up early, but when it does, you notice.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's, where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a Level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to our latest trivia winner, James Victor, who knew that the Visit Mansfield slogan is "Come for the location, stay for the fun." When we come back, this week's trivia question. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
It's time right now for the highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield trivia question. If you are the first person to email the correct answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com, you will receive a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice. It's brought to you by Joe Jenkins Insurance. Whether you're looking for homeowners, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, Joe has helped Mansfield area residents understand the insurance coverage that best fit their needs since 2010. You can find him on the internet at joejenkinsinsurance.com. Colleen, it's your turn.
Well, Steve, when Mansfield fur babies get sick or injured, there is certainly no shortage of veterinarians in town from which to choose. This week's trivia question is, who was Mansfield's first veterinarian? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Again, who was Mansfield's first veterinarian? Good luck, and thanks to Joe Jenkins Insurance for the gift card.
Hi, I'm Paula Giammo Morales, Tarrant County Jury Bailiff, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section.
It is the first episode of the month, and that means it's time for the cultural arts calendar. We bring in the tourism manager for the city of Mansfield. That's Tim Roberts. Welcome back to About Mansfield.
I mean, it's here. At the end of the year is here. December's here. It's 2026. It's all happening at once.
Everyone's got their Christmas lights up, and it is time for the December cultural arts calendar. And, of course, we start off with the biggie.
Hometown Holidays, December 5th, 5 to 9 at Mansfield City Hall. That's 1200 East Broad Street. If you don't know where that is, it's the big one. It's the one that everybody wants to go to. Santa, carnival rides, live performances all night long. And then, of course, the return of the Hometown Holidays fireworks. They were only gone for 2 years, but it's like a triumphal return. We are launching fireworks back off for Hometown Holidays. That'll happen around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Some things pending, but that's if you want to see those, need to be there by 6 o'clock. at the latest to get your spot for Hometown Holidays.
So don our gay apparel and head on out to Hometown Holidays on December 5th. And then the Fleetwood Project. I love these guys.
Yeah, and they're bringing another one-of-a-kind show. That's the only kind of shows they bring. They're presenting December 5th through the 14th, All Shook Up. That is Elvis Presley meets Shakespeare. The King and the Bard melded together with this adaptation of Twelfth Night as a jukebox musical with Elvis Presley songs and Shakespeare's prose. So if you can't wrap your head around that, you need to come and see it yourself.
So maybe Elvis will quote, "All the world's a stage"?
I think if he did it in his nice little Nashville accent, that would definitely be quite compelling. Or to be or not to be.
And then we head on over to the Wallace Hall House, but it's not, you've changed the name of it again.
Deck the Wallace Halls. It's going to be a holiday market that runs for 12 nights between December 6th and into 2026, January 3rd. We're going to have regular market hours there. It's a holiday market where you can come and buy those little treasures you need for last minute gift shopping. But also we're going to have some special nights, including December 6th. We'll have free cookies and cocoa. December 11th, we'll have letters to Santa, cookie decorating, Christmas movie and popcorn on December 13th, and a wine and shop night that's adults only on December 18th. So we got a couple more special nights. Again, for all these events, I should have mentioned at the top, you can find all the holiday events at MansfieldHometownHolidays.com, as well as the full calendar for Deck the Wallace Halls, and that's the Wallace Hall Art House at 210 South Main Street, right next to Fire Station 1. If you don't know where that is, definitely come by and see it this season.
And then we head on back to the Far Best Theater.
Open mic night. Gotta have it. Gotta have it every month. And, maybe it has a holiday twist. Maybe it doesn't. You're the one who decides what's on that stage every single month. There's special theming. Of course, there'll be some poetry this month as well. Some special guests coming in. As I always say, whether you want to hit the stage or just sit in the audience and watch the talent, it's the one month you can't miss. It is a great community event every single second Thursday of every month.
And then there's something on the list I'm not seen before. I would assume it's because of the season, but
and this is a mouthful. But the Troupe Theater presents Puffs, or 7 increasingly eventful years at a certain school of magic and magic.
Wait, say that again.
A certain
Puffs.
A 7 increasingly eventful years at a certain school of magic and magic. If you can read between the copyright lines there, this is a parody send-up of course, Harry Potter. I can say that on the podcast. You just can't say it in the show title. All from the perspective of everybody's least favorite house, Hufflepuff, unless you happen to test that you're in Hufflepuff back in the BuzzFeed days 15 years ago.
Okay.
It's a hilarious show. If you're a fan of the books, and especially kind of a holiday themed show as well, you're going to want to see that at the Far Best Theater, December 20th through the 22nd, all shows at 7:30 p.m.
Anything else going on?
That wraps up 2025. It's 2026 now. That ends it right there. Last events of 25.
Well, then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas if that's your thing for the Roberts family, and we'll see you in 2026.
Yeah, to you as well. And man, do we have a 2026 ahead of us in Mansfield. It is going to be absolutely wild.
Bonkers. All right. That is the Cultural Arts Calendar. That is Tourism Manager Tim Roberts. And Tim, go forth. We'll see you in 26.
See you then.
Angel Biasatti is here to talk about an upcoming blood drive in Methodist Mansfield. News to know. Angel?
Today, we have an important opportunity to make a real difference in our community. We'll be talking about a blood drive this Friday, December 5th, and how you can help save lives. From 9 to 3 here at the hospital, 2700 East Broad, we're inviting everyone out to donate blood. It's quick, safe, and can mean the world to someone in need, whether it's a trauma victim, a patient undergoing surgery, or someone battling a serious illness. Blood donations are vital. Every pint you can give has the power to save up to 3 lives. That's right, 3 lives from a single donation. Donating is simple. You'll be guided through the process by our friendly professional staff, and after donating, you can enjoy some refreshments and the satisfaction knowing you've made a real impact in our community. Even if you've never donated before, this is the perfect opportunity to join the life-saving community effort. If you're a regular donor, we'd love to see you again. So mark your calendars Friday, December 5th from 9 to 3 at Methodist Mansfield Medical Center. Together we can help trauma victims, hospital patients, and people in our community who need blood right now. Give the gift of life, donate blood, save lives, and be a hero in our community. For more information, telephone Victoria Botello at 682-242-5820. We look forward to seeing you. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for the About Mansfield podcast.
The Mansfield Business Alliance has recently released their 40 under 40 list. Now, this is a list of 40 people, either at or under the age of 40. This is the next generation of leaders here in Mansfield. And we're talking executives, CEOs, entrepreneurs, or everyday people like you and me. And in the studio today, we have another 40 under 40. She is the Business Retention and Expansion Manager with the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation. In her role, she focuses on advancing Mansfield's strategic growth by attracting new investment, supporting business retention and expansion, fostering partnerships that strengthen the local economy. Her leadership and insight help position Mansfield as a premier destination for business, innovation, and community development in North Texas. We say hello to Natalie Phelps. Welcome to About Mansfield.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. This is such a great opportunity.
You are a 40 under 40.
Yes, that is correct.
And what does that mean to you?
You know, being the inaugural class, it was really, what does this mean to all of us?
Sure.
And to me, I didn't understand the impact because I'm going in every day doing the best work that I can do for, Mansfield, for our community and for our residents. Mm-hmm. That impact didn't really hit me at that time I was being nominated. Now seeing what that looks like with the Mansfield Business Alliance and being a part of that group, it's truly changed the trajectory of my path this year, which has just been a few short months. And so it's been a great opportunity to really learn from others and get to meet some people that I necessarily wouldn't have come across in day-to-day work. So.
How long have you worked with MEDC?
I've worked with Mansfield Economic Development Corporation for about, 9 years now. 9 years? Yes. I did have a short stint when I left, but I've come back and I've grown up in Mansfield, so this is home.
You went to Mansfield High?
I did, yes.
Graduation, alumni, the class of?
2003, we were the first graduating class from the Mansfield High School on Broad Street.
Okay.
So,
what prompted you to get a job? What led you to getting a job at MEDC, the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation? Was this a job that you were seeking?
I started my career, of all places, in 911 dispatch with the city of Mansfield years ago. Yes. And so economic development was not one of my pathways that I had chose in college or high school or any of that. Didn't even know it existed, honestly. And saw a opportunity with my real estate background and paralegal background to kind of get to know more people, to get to learn businesses that are out there. And so I took a chance and put my application, and I worked with Scott Wellmaker and learned so much from him. Yeah. Richard Nevins, Jason Moore is a great leader as well. So had some really great support and mentorship through those leaders. And love what I do. Love being out in the community.
If I recall a text from Scott, as you know, Scott and I are still very good friends. He said Natalie Phelps was probably my best hire.
That's so great to hear. He's such a great person to work with, and just all around really loved the community.
And I'm going to be seeing him next week.
Oh, you'll have to tell him I said hello.
I will do.
So if you're listening, Scott, hello.
As an executive who is under the age of 40, up to this point in your career, what do you feel has been your biggest accomplishment?
I think inspiring others to do more and step out of your comfort zone has been something that I've been passionate about. really have enjoyed that opportunity to just inspire others to keep pushing forward.
And then let's go with biggest challenge. From not necessarily with MEDC. You mentioned you were a 911 operator. Which had undoubtedly came with challenges. Career-wise, what's been your biggest challenge?
I think trying not to settle for something that I know I'm capable of doing. And I think for me, I'm always trying to raise that bar higher. And that challenge is to say, okay, let's slow down and let's perfect this portion. And so that's my challenge, is trying to rein those big dreams and those big goals in to say, okay, let's do this and let's do this really well, and then move forward with the next step. I'm a dreamer, so I'm always thinking forward and trying to figure out the next steps.
But dreams turn into reality if you chase them.
I hope so. Yes, that is true.
You, knowing that the city of Mansfield is a 24-hour business, let's talk about work-life balance. Do you have a work-life balance?
That's something that is very important to a lot of people now, and especially to me. I've got 2 daughters, both very active in school activities and sports. And so when I am home, I am present with my kids and my family. My husband dedicates his time to coach their basketball teams and some other sports. And so I try and make sure that I am present both at work and at home with my family. And thankfully, the city is very supportive of, being a working parent, and there is flexibility to make sure that we are able to accommodate those things that come up, like the school parties or, trick-or-treating, things like
Field
that
day.
with the schools. Field day, yes, not trick-or-treating. But yeah, that is one of the big challenges, especially being a working parent.
Oh, sure. Let's talk about how you got to where you are. Are there people in the community that you would like to recognize that helped you get to where you are today?
Yeah, I think having the support system through the city has been great. And one of the things that I do lead is the Ladies in CRE. It's Commercial Real Estate Women. And I founded one of the groups here in Mansfield. And that group has been just a strong group of women that are in commercial real estate that really understand development, that are supportive, and they want to be a part of the growth here in Mansfield. And they're our biggest cheerleaders, is having them come to Mansfield each month, working with them on projects, or, them hoping to work on future projects. That's been a great support system that I have, and I have to give credit to them. And it's also challenged me again to say, hey, what can we do for the other people in either construction, real estate, or even just small businesses here? How can we help support them even further?
You've mentioned real estate a few times. Do you have a real estate license?
I used to. I no longer have that. So, yes, way back in the day.
Does that help with your job currently?
It does.
Or at least having that knowledge of real estate.
Yes, it does. It's crucial in what we're doing, because people are buying and selling land all of the time, understanding that market.
Usually in slightly bigger numbers than purchasing a home.
Correct. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Commercial real estate is a whole different ballgame.
Oh, wow. Okay. You had now we are recording this on October 28th of 2025. You had a big groundbreaking yesterday. Do you want to brag about it?
Yeah. So the Mansfield Innovation Community, also known as the MIC, they are building a Class A office space here in Mansfield, which will be the first.
Now, before you continue, for those in the audience who don't know what a Class A office building is.
Yes. Class A office space will have amenities. They'll have weight rooms. It's going to have restaurants, retail opportunities for employers that are, working in this building. They can go down and utilize those amenities that everybody is seeking. And so it's a great opportunity to really bring that to our market, because we don't have that type of Class A office space here in Mansfield. A lot of the office space that's here in the Southern Metroplex is a little older, and so they don't have those amenities that workers are really looking for. And so bringing Mansfield into that realm of, people want to live and work here.
And this is going to be just right around the corner.
Yeah, just right across the street from you guys right now.
Will I be able to see it? Is it a high-rise?
Yes, it'll be 5 stories.
Nice.
They'll have a co-working space. So if you have a smaller business like the podcast here, you could rent space over there. They'll have conference rooms, and then you can rent, a floor depending on your needs for your business.
Okay.
So great opportunity to bring headquarters here to Mansfield.
Let's go back in time. If you were to be face-to-face with 10-year-old Natalie, what advice would you give her?
I would just tell her keep pushing, keep moving forward. Again, we talked about how I'm a dreamer. Knowing what I know now, I wish I wouldn't have given up. And one of the things that I do is I teach young girls in our basketball program. I teach them leadership skills and etiquette. And this is something that those girls look forward to every day. And I never envisioned my life being where it was today and teaching these young kids. So I think for myself, just keep pushing forward. You don't need anybody's approval. Keep going.
I always like to conclude these interviews. 10 minutes goes fast, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. With an open mic. The open mic meaning this is your opportunity to give thanks or shout outs or if you have a motivational minute or what, the microphone is yours.
Yeah, I obviously have to thank the Mansfield Business Alliance. They saw that need and they filled it for the community. Not only did they do that, they came up with programs and training opportunities, ribbon cuttings, some great events. Of course, the 40 under 40. I'm really excited to see what that next group of leaders looks like and to see how we can support them. And really just as a representative of the city, if there's anything that we can do to help, please lean on us because most people don't know what economic development is. They don't know that we're here to help. As a small business owner myself, I have an understanding of what businesses are going through as well. So I really, again, I have to thank you also for putting this together, offering it to us, and giving us the time to really share our story.
Natalie Phelps, 40 under 40. Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thank you so much.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up a drink that's elegant, sparkling, with just that little bit extra in this week's Cocktail of the Week. Brian?
You know that moment in every holiday party where the music shifts, the lights dim, and someone walks in wearing an outfit that says, "Yes, I am the holiday spirit." Well, that's this cocktail. Welcome to this week's Cocktail of the Week, the first in our December lineup, mistletoe and martinis. I've actually been looking forward to this month for quite a while, and I'm now glad that we're here to enjoy it together. This month will be an elegant, romantic, and festive cocktails that are made for chilly date nights, cozy fireplace hangs, and a whole lot of holiday sparkle. This week's cocktail is the Sugar Plum Fairy Martini. It's a graceful blend of vodka, plum syrup, lemon, and the ever-present bubbles, inspired by the Nutcracker Ballet and the kinds of cocktails you sip while wearing something velvet. So what do we need to make this cocktail? We need 1.5 ounces of vodka. Come on, it's vodka. Doesn't really care which one you choose, just choose one. 3/4 ounce of plum syrup. You can do it store-bought or homemade. 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice, always fresh, please. And then 2 ounces of a sparkling wine. A dry brut is preferred, but whatever your sparkling wine of preference is, that'll work. And then garnish. Again, we're going to go back to it's December. Edible glitter is coming into play. A rosemary sprig or a candied plum. How are we going to make this beautiful cocktail? In a cocktail shaker with ice, we're going to combine the vodka, the plum syrup, and the lemon juice. We're going to shake until it's well mixed and well chilled, and then we're going to strain it into a coupe glass or a martini glass. Then top with the sparkling wine. Then garnish with a sprig of rosemary, a candied plum, or a light sprinkle of edible glitter if you're looking for a little extra drama. The cocktail, it's tart, it's lightly sweet, and it's effervescence. It's a berry-forward French 75 in a tutu. And if you want it sweeter, dial up the syrup. And if you want it drier, add more of the brute. Little trivia, the sugar plum fairy is the glittering queen of the land of sweets in the Nutcracker, a ballet that's synonymous with December for nearly 130 years. Interestingly, actual sugar plums were once a type of hard candy, not fruit at all. But in modern mixology, plum syrups and infusions bring lush depth to holiday cocktails. Pro tip, if you're making your own plum syrup, toss in a cinnamon stick while it simmers for a spiced version. But as always, I'm open to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain famously said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with Steve's interview with Texas Rangers legend Hoggy Price.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, this is Eric Nadell, the voice of the Rangers, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. In the studio today, I went to the internet and I typed in this person's name and I asked for a bio, and it came up that he is a Texas Rangers legend. and yet he's not a player. So we're talking baseball today, and I realize it's football season, but we are blessed to have in the studio today a Texas Rangers legend. Do you call yourself a legend? Do you think of yourself as a legend?
All I am is a very fortunate person that each morning I get up and my feet hit the floor. I'm a 67-year-old kid that gets to go to the ballpark and work.
In the studio today, Assistant Vice President of Business Operations, Richard Hoggy Price. Welcome to About Mansfield.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
67 years old, and you've been with the Rangers for 50 years.
Next year will be my 50th year.
You started at 18?
Yes.
If the math is right.
77, though. I'm not. I have to pull my phone and figure it out.
Okay. How did you start with the Rangers?
I was playing ball at the University of Dallas, and Joe Macco, who was at the time the equipment manager, knew my uncle, and he was out there selling some shoes. And I asked Mr. Macco to look at me and tell me if he thought I had a career going forward. And he watched us play that doubleheader, and I asked him what he thought, and he said, "Son, you ain't going anywhere."
Uh-oh.
And but he offered me a job, so I took him up on it, and I've been there ever since.
Is that the only job you've ever had?
No, I was part-time for 33 years with the Rangers.
Okay.
And then I had a career at Delta Airlines.
Wow.
For 29.
And what'd you do for Delta?
I was in charge of, I worked cabin service, drove the lavatory truck, which was probably the best job in the airline industry. Nobody could lay up on you.
Yeah.
You were own boss. Could get messy if you messed up. But I was in charge of air cargo and different things like that. So I have a whole book of stories from the airline industry that people would not believe.
I just flew last Monday and flew home. So I flew out on Wednesday. What are you thinking nowadays? Because now that with the government shut down and we get flights are being canceled, did you ever encounter a time during your time with Delta that was similar to what we're seeing now?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I was there during 9/11.
Oh.
And it was, I left Delta in 2010 when I became full-time with the Rangers. But there was a lot of interesting things in the airline industry. I mean, you used to be able to just walk when you flew non-rev. You could walk up basically to the gate, show them your ID. You were on the list, and you got on the plane. Now you got to go through security and all this stuff. So
and you used to be able to walk your friends to the gate.
Yes.
And sit there in front of those big picture windows and watch them take off.
Yeah, and you could find one of those great cafes to have lunch that cost you $100.
True. What were you doing during 9/11 and the days following?
I was in cabin service at the time, overseeing a contract company. And that morning when things went down, I mean, people were we didn't know what to do, and they started pulling the planes out of the sky. And they were the goal was to get them on the ground.
Right.
And they got them on the ground. They were just dropping everywhere, closest airport. And they got the people off and pushed the airplanes back away from the gate. And it was worse than controlled chaos because no one had ever gone through this or knew what was happening.
Or was even prepared for it, I would assume.
Right.
Okay. And all the while, let's get away from airline. All the while, you're working for the Rangers,
right?
And your first job again for the Rangers was
I was working in the clubhouse with as one of the clubhouse guys.
At 18 years old, who were some of the players that you're dealing with?
We had Pat Corrales that year. We had we had Richie Zisk, Pat Putnam, Al Oliver. Fergie Jenkins. We had Oscar Gamble. We had Roger Moret, who went off the deep end and held the shower shoe for 6 to 7 hours. Huh. But you know what? When you go back and look at the players that the Rangers had, at least when I went to work in 77, we had a lot of great players come through that clubhouse. I mean, Gaylord Perry. I mean, we had Bert Campaneris.
Right.
We had Bud Harrelson. We had Rusty Staub.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we had some memorable people.
And I have to admit this, that because, first of all, you and I are very close in age, but I grew up.
Well, you have a lot more hair than I
do. I grew up in a National League city.
Okay.
So when I grew up a San Diego Padres fan, and so when you're naming off all these American League legends, names that I knew, but I didn't know anything about them because I never watched American League baseball.
Right.
I became a fan of American League 21 years ago when we moved to Texas.
Well, good. Still a fan?
Still a fan.
All right.
Still a fan.
And that happened too when they merged the league of umpires, American and National League umpires. So we got all the National League umpires that we had never seen. I mean, we kept getting the same ones in a 3 homestand rotation.
Right.
Durwood Merrill and people like that would come through every couple homestands. So now there might be 3 crews we don't get all year, and we might get some once, and the maximum we might get a crew is 3 times.
Part of your job was not only to manage the clubhouse, but also the umpire locker room.
Right, and it worked out that they let me take care of the umpires solely, so I could work at Delta, and I'd get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to Delta, and then leave the airport and try to get down 360. And when I first started going to the airport, 360 was a 2-lane road,
right?
Trees in the middle, and now look at it. But
now you got to pay money to go down 360.
Yeah,
at least down to
point. Yeah,
down to where we are.
Mansfield. Yeah,
sorry about that.
That's all right.
You went to college playing baseball. You obviously are a baseball fan. How deep is your love for baseball?
I would have to say it's extremely deep. I mean, I would say it goes to my core. And then I went to umpiring school in 1979, and I thought I wanted to be a professional umpire, and I had just gotten married, so I decided not to go to Bradenton after the umpire Harry Wendelstadt school, and So I umpired the games in 1979 when the umpires went on strike. So, and then fast forward, I do high school softball. I mean, I love umpiring. I hate to say it that in this modern day and age, parents are ruining it for umpires.
Yeah.
you know.
There should be a massive sign saying that this is not the World Series. And
Well, everybody thinks their son or daughter is going to be the next Lisa Fernandez or Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and it's what we're teaching these kids at a young age is not what we need to be teaching them on the playing field.
You were an umpire room manager, a clubhouse manager. You're now an operations manager. Your favorite job?
I enjoy. Listen, I became the clubhouse manager in 2010 through the 2015 season. No one could write a book any better than to go into a job being a clubhouse manager and go into the World Series in 2010,
right,
and then reversing back and going to 2011. And we know how that ended. But, to be a part of it, even though you didn't win, it was tremendous.
Right.
And then in 2015, we had the seventh inning in Toronto that lasted over an hour and 15 minutes. That was the most bizarre situation in baseball. It might have been the only time I was ever scared to be at a ballpark because of the crowd throwing what they were throwing down, the projectiles onto the field, et cetera. And there was definitely not enough policemen to stop if the Canadians jumped over the rail. But
on a typical day, the job description of the clubhouse manager.
Well, the clubhouse manager oversees a lot of things. You have a staff, and I just try to tell people what goes on behind the scenes. People really don't understand. You're taking care of 25 guys. You got coaches. Now you have a staff. They have to be fed. I mean, you got towels, you got laundry, you got uniforms. I tell people when you say you play on the West Coast and you have a game that ends and you hear Tom Grieve say goodnight from Anaheim. If the Rangers won, then that means we played the bottom of the ninth. If we lost, then that means we got out 25 to 30 minutes quicker because we lost and we head home. So you got all these guys that have to shower, eat, put all their stuff in their bag. The bags are loaded. You try to get the equipment truck out of there 45 minutes after the game. The bus leaves an hour after the game. You drive 40 minutes to the airport because of the noise restrictions, and you have to take off out of John Wayne. You fly cross country. You land at Love Field at 4 a.m.
Oh.
You take the stuff off the airplane. You come up 183 when there is no traffic and 360. You come into the bowels of the ballpark, and you have a group of people there to unload the stuff, do the laundry, get it ready, and you have people showing up 9, 10 o'clock for the day game the game the next day.
The next day.
Yeah.
That's almost a 24-hour workday.
It's There is no clock. It's just by what needs to be done.
Right. You said the players need to be fed. What do you feed the players?
When we had a chef that fed them, I mean, now the food drives the bus. I mean, everything. I mean, you're getting really taken care of. It's really I haven't been associated with the baseball side of it since 2015 when I came out. Mm-hmm. So now I take care of the umpires, and I'm over shipping and receiving. So we receive all the bobbleheads and all the packages and all the Amazon packages that come 25 times a day by different cars. So a little bit to oversee.
All the bobbleheads.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking like 15,000 per bobblehead.
Right. We coordinate with PGL. We store most of it there, and then we set up the days that we deliver it once they hit, and they're moved from the West Coast into this area. And there's a whole staff that takes care of the bobbleheads, that orders them, designs them, and the bobbleheads are going to give away next year.
Do you have a collection of bobbleheads?
we have a collection of bobbleheads in our shipping and receiving office.
Okay.
My wife really doesn't want a ton of bobbleheads around the house to dust.
The latest one was the Adrian Beltre on the knee.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a bobblehead. It's more of a
statue.
Little statue.
Yeah.
I got that sitting on my shelf right behind me. A couple bobbleheads. In fact, I've got an Eric Nadel bobblehead.
Yeah, the one that you push a little ball and it talks.
Well, until the battery runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it has.
Quickly.
You mentioned that speaking of Eric Nadel, you mentioned you were doing a little intel on me and finding out whether this was safe territory or not.
Yeah, I called Eric and I said, hey, Steve asked me to do this podcast. I said, what am I walking into? And he goes, oh, it'll be all right. He does his homework, He'll have some questions, this, that, and the other. So Eric spoke very highly of you.
A quick story about that day in July when Eric came in. As you know, you came in through the glass door, quick 10 feet through a hallway into the studio. The studio has no windows. And Eric sitting in that very seat that you are, and we're chit-chatting before we start, just like you and I chit-chatted before we started recording. About 2 minutes before we were going to start recording, the building lights went out. In fact, the power went out about a quarter of a mile radius of the intersection down there. And we didn't know what to do. Here he drove all the way from Dallas to be on. And I'm thinking, if I lose this interview, he's not coming back. He says, you know what? Why don't we do what Boach and I do? He says, we'll do it on your phone. And we did the entire. It was a 60-minute interview. We had to sit a little closer, kind of huddled together like around the campfire, and had my iPhone out there, and we recorded the entire interview on the phone. We had to have the studio door open so that the light could come in from the glass door that you entered into the hallway. That was that, and my producer Andrew's flashlight was on from his phone, and it was very cozy.
Good. So Eric got 60 and I get 30.
We were just getting started.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I'm just saying, I am the most tenured employee of the Rangers. So Eric can never be in the number one spot until I retire.
That's right. He's been there 35 years.
No, I think he's like 47.
Oh, 47.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. He will never be as old as you in terms of years worked at the Rangers until you quit.
Yeah, or the Lord calls me home.
Okay. And didn't HR ask you when you're going to quit?
Yeah, and why should I quit? I can be a pain in everybody's side.
And the nice thing is you're around a game. It's as everyone says, it's grown-ups playing a kid's game. And what a wonderful game it is.
I've been so blessed in my life with the relationships. The presidents come by the locker room. President Bush comes by every time he's out there. You take it for granted. Cole Hauser was out there. He stopped in and saw the umps.
When a president comes in, or when a celebrity or someone of importance comes in, do you create a custom uniform for them, a jersey?
No, when we were in a clubhouse, if it was somebody special, we would do that jersey. In the umpire room, they're lucky we turned the light on for them, and kill the ambiance.
Do you have a favorite umpire?
Let's see. The proper answer is that they're all my favorites. Just some are more than others.
Okay. Your thoughts. I know the community's thoughts. Your thoughts on Angel Hernandez.
Joe West retired. They went after Joe. No better person than Joe West. We could call him right now and talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Hernandez the same way. They went after Angel. I have my own thoughts about Angel, how they went after him, and how he left, and he got a settlement. But Angel Hernandez would send you a text every Christmas.
Yeah.
Send you a text. When my father was, getting up in age, would call me and ask me how my dad's doing. So on a personal standpoint, Angel Hernandez was top shelf. How Angel was when he went out on that field might have been a different story. I never umpired with Angel.
Yeah. To hear stories like that.
You know, those guys are human beings.
Yeah.
They go out there to do their best. And, you know, I wish the public could see 4 guys and a clubhouse attendant put their arms around each other and they pray before they go out there. You know, they pray to keep the ball off of whoever's doing the plate, put us in the right position to make the right calls, let us glorify you. That's a side that the 40,000 people sitting in the stands don't see.
Right.
You know,
they get booed when they walk out on the field.
Well, I always tell people there was a guy at MYBA ripping, or it might have been Big League Dreams, ripping a poor kid that looked like he was still in high school, making gas money, doing like 9-year-old, 10-year-old baseball.
Yeah.
And a dad's ripping him, and I can't take it anymore. And my wife says, don't do anything stupid. I go, I'm not. So I just walked behind the guy and I said, hey, giving him a hard time. He goes, he's terrible. I said, well, they make shirts in your size.
Yeah.
Turned around and walked off. You know?
Umpires, the strike zone. Are you in favor? Are you opposed to the next year coming in with?
I think they can take technology to a point where it ruins the fabric of the game. Yeah. I think the replays that they're doing now are great. I mean, everybody wants to get the call right, but, you know, sometimes angles, you don't see things. You know, they had that play with the Dodgers where it hit the glove, hit the wall, came back to the glove.
Right.
And if you look down the line, Chad Fairchild is like signaling no catch. If they call that an out and then they go to replay and they say that it wasn't an out, it was a hit, now they have to place the runners.
Right.
Because I called Bill Miller, who was in replay, and I said, so at what would we have to where we would place the runners, and then how would you place them? And, you know, we talked about it, and he said, you know, you'd probably give them 1 base or something like that. I mean, to give somebody 2 bases, oof.
Right, you play it out.
Mm-hmm.
The ball hit the fence.
But the umpire down the line
said
it was in play.
Right. If you call it out and then there's the replay, you go, wait, no, it was a hit. That causes problems.
Right. Well, you know, you look at these fields like Houston, the yellow line in the outfield, it's up, it's down, it comes around, it goes up again. I mean, you got to see, did the ball hit the yellow line and go out? Did it hit the yellow line and come in?
One of the things I love about going to different ballparks, because each ballpark is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 100 yards long with 2 end zones, which is, you know, every football field is the same. Every baseball field is different.
Right. And there's no clock.
Globe Life Field has so many nooks and crannies out there in the outfield that can carom the ball in any.
Well, in the umpire's room, there's pictures of all these nook and crannies, as you call them,
okay,
of what the call is if the ball hits here or whatever. There's like 12 pictures that we have on the wall that they look at, and then they have ground rules on the back of the ground rule sheet.
Interesting. So, okay. So like in this past World Series in Toronto, when the ball got stuck underneath the padding, that's something that's maybe a picture in the umpire's locker room.
Right. But but if a ball gets stuck under the pad, if the outfielder raises his hands, it's going to be a dead ball. If he plays it, it's in play.
Right. Did you watch the World Series?
Bits and pieces. It was on the top television at certain times. You know.
Wait, hang on. Top television. Are you saying that there's more than one?
Well, at my house, I didn't go out at 7:00 at night to Globe Life Field to sit in the umpire's room and fall asleep on the couch to watch the game.
So it was on the top TV,
right?
And in your home. So is there a bottom TV?
Yes, there's a bottom TV that we might be watching The Diplomat, The Chosen, or something like that, And
Blue Bloods or
whatever. And then if it gets real interesting, we'll switch the channels and,
Should Toronto have won that game? The World Series?
The baseball gods decided it.
Yeah.
I mean, should we have won 2011?
Well, okay. There was that fly ball to right field.
Right. But there were many times before that.
You're right.
I would challenge, of course, I never sat down except one time and watched that game as it replayed. And I would probably say that was the most exciting World Series game until this past World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, that 18-inning game was – I called Mark Wagner the next day and asked him how his legs were. That was like calling 2 games.
Oh, absolutely. And nobody takes into consideration that the home plate umpire stands up, squats every pitch.
Right.
And
I think there were 600 and something pitches in that game. So just do 600 squats.
And over 200 balls were used. And you, as a clubhouse manager, are in charge of providing the baseballs.
I used to do that. I used to put mud on the baseballs. When we went to Globe Life, we transitioned that over to the home clubhouse. So we don't do that anymore. But in my calculation, I probably rubbed over 1 million.
And talk about that, because when I played baseball, now we're talking Little League through 17, 18 years old, they take a ball out of the box, they throw it to the pitcher. That's it. You're playing with a brand new ball. And I was a pitcher, so I did not like the fact that the ball was slippery.
Slick. Mm-hmm.
What are you doing in the clubhouse to the ball before it goes out to play?
You put that Delaware River mud on there, and it takes the shine off of it and helps the grip of the pitcher. The rule of thumb, the darker the ball, the better the pitcher liked it, because the hitter doesn't see the rotation coming out of his hand. The lighter the ball, the hitter likes it because he can see the rotation.
Delaware mud. Is that what you call it?
Mm-hmm.
And
you can Google that. They show the guy going up there to the tributary and scooping it out with his shovel and taking it to his garage. And yeah, it's a baseball tradition history.
You can't just go to Joe Pool Lake and shovel out mud?
Doesn't work. We had a groundskeeper that tried to do that, and I said, Jim, we're going through so many balls, I can't keep trying this fake mud you're bringing in here.
Wow. We're talking with Texas Rangers legend Hoggy Price, and be sure to tune in next week, our 300th episode, and you'll hear part 2 of our interview with Mr. Price. In the meantime, this is the place where you'll hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, engage, connect, support, or love this podcast if you haven't already, so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never, ever send you any spam. We promise.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Home Services Advice of the Week, Todd Cleveland. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. We thank you all for listening. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Casillo, going back to bed, getting rid of this cold, and this is About Mansfield.